Across the vast expanse of time, mythologies have forged the world. From the depths of chaos to the flames of distant realms, every culture has woven tales of gods, heroes, and celestial wonders. Welcome to Myth2Myth, your mythological portal. Subscribe for more epic journeys. Visit myth2myth.com and discover all our products. Beneath polished marble lies a hammer's echo. From the smoking heart of Lemnos to the silent throne of Olympus, a forgotten sun rises. In the hush that follows Hera's jealous storms, a single spark flickers, a spark destined to forge crowns, shackles, and legends. Great war drums of bullhide rumble like distant anvils. Bronze horns blaze solemn chords. A male chorus intones Hephaestus between breaths of fire. The queen of heaven labors alone. Zeus wanders under thunderclouds. When she glimpses the infant's twisted legs and pale feet, shame curdles. Reputation matters above all. To birth imperfection tarnishes her divine honor. She orders a mist servant to the balcony and, whispering, "Be unremembered," casts the boy into void. No curse, no prophecy, only cold expulsion to preserve her image. Above, Hera wipes hands, convincing herself she preserved perfection. Below, the sea cradles the fallen godling. Outcast, crippled yet unbroken, Hephaestus will shape vengeance into artistry, binding Olympus with gold and irony. His mother will learn that rejection breeds genius, and that genius can bind a goddess tighter than any oath. Follow the clang of destiny across vaults of stone and star. Before the furnace of myth is fully stoked, recall that even immortal poets disagree on Hephaestus's first spark. Hesiod sings that Hera, wounded in pride, bore the smith alone, a silent answer to Zeus's motherless birth of Athena. Homer's Iliad, however, names both Hera and Zeus as parents, forging the craftsman within a lawful marriage of sky and storm. For this saga, we embrace Hesiod's account, not in dismissal of Homer, but because a solitary birth lays bare, with ruthless clarity, the depth of Hera's shame, and, as molten counterpoint, the genius her rejection will ignite. In other tellings, other singers may praise a different lineage. The gods, like forges, burn with many flames. Yet here we follow Hesiod's ember, ensuring the narrative fire blazes without contradiction. In Hera's perfume chamber, the air trembles with divine tension. Thunder rumbles outside as though Zeus himself senses childbirth, yet he is absent, scouring distant skies for rebellious clouds. Hera labors among purple tapestries, while incense of iris coils round the pillars. When the Houri lay the swaddled infant in her arms, hush eclipses every harp string. The boy's legs twist inward, feet pale as uncured bronze. Horror eclipses the pride that had driven her to conceive. Some palace whisperers will later murmur that Zeus himself shared this blood, claiming the King of Heaven secretly fathered the child. Others will insist Hera alone had conceived in imitation of her husband. Both rumors sting her vanity. Shame quickens her pulse. She sees not a rival to Zeus, but a blemish on her own honor. For an instant she considers hiding the deformity. Then rage hardens resolve. Calling a mist servant, she orders the balcony unlatched. "You were never here," she hisses, lifting the infant high. The bundle drops into roaring void, limbs flailing like sparks from a chisel. Hera smooths her robe, eager to erase the moment, yet a newborn cry fades to a note of red-hot metal, promising that what is disowned will return refined by fire. 9 agonizing days the child plummets through ether. Stars blur into streaks, rainbows flash, the world's edge rushes up. On the 9th dusk, he strikes the wine-dark sea with a hiss like quenched iron. The shockwave carries whispers to every shore. From sapphire depths 2 goddesses rise, Thetis, silver-ankled Nereid whose touch softens swords, and Eurynome, Oceanid daughter of endless currents. Pity softens their eyes, awe knots their brows. They cradle the bruised godling, feeling heat radiating from his palms. "Broken fire," murmurs Thetis, as Eurynomy senses the word forge ripple through currents. They bear him to a coral grotto beneath Aegean tides where pearls glow like miniature moons. Within that sanctuary, they lay him on a bed of seaweed and shells. They rub ambrosial ointments over twisted limbs, binding bone with kelp cords blessed by restorative chants. Water nymphs hum lullabies that mimic waves. Shells rattle like small anvils by his ears, teaching him rhythm. Above, Hera attends a feast, speaking nothing of her lost child. The sea, however, remembers. In the silent grotto, Hephaestus drinks mother milk, sweetened by sea foam, and dreams of shapes no cosmos has yet beheld. Intricate mechanisms, chains disguised as vines, and thrones that move like living thought. Years pass in submarine twilight. Anemone lanterns flicker across vaulted stone, while dolphins deliver driftwood and meteoric ore to the curious boy-smith. Hephaestus limps, but tirelessness fuels him. He fashions toy fish of hammered copper that dart upon currents, spiral shells engraved with constellations unseen by land dwellers, coral combs strung with golden threads he spun from sunlight coaxed through obsidian prisms. Each strike of mallet reverberates through water like prophecy. Nearby hippocampes pause, spellbound by the cadence. Thetis and Eurynomy exchange glances. Exile breeds mastery. Yet beneath triumph lies ache. Hephaestus keeps a shard of Olympus marble near his anvil, stroking its smooth face, wondering why sky rejected him. At night he dreams of clouds shaped like a throne, arms curling into fetters disguised as ivy tendrils. He wakes with resolve. "Mother shall sit," he whispers, voice gravel rough though young. He draws schemes in sand that swirl with current, hidden hinges beneath floral filigree, snares triggered by a lover's embrace. Already cunning wheels spin behind his eyes. In far Olympus Hera, now mother's new children, Ares, Hebe, Eileithyia, boasting of their virtues. Yet the firstborn's creativity simmers in ocean hush, ready to smolder into flame. Weary of ocean's softness, Hephaestus yearns for heat akin to his anger. He climbs volcanic slopes of Lemnos, limping over pumice fields sharpened by ancient eruptions. Sintian smiths, mortal artisans, watch in awe as the divine outcast erects bellows of whalebone and bullhide. He commands subterranean fire to surface, forming rivers of glowing slag. From meteoric iron and copper-rich ore, he extracts orichalcum, sunset metal forgotten since Kronos' reign. Sparks paint his scarred cheeks gold. Hephaestus works alone save for bronze automata of his own devising. Tripods that walk on 3 spider legs, bellows that breathe unbidden, mechanical hounds that fetch tongs. Each clang is a curse upon rejection, each rivet a syllable in a silent indictment. Night after night he tempers alloys unknown, forging rods so fine they hum like cicada wings. To test mechanisms, he crafts a serpent armlet that coils, tightens, then flowers into a rose at command, a preface to greater marvels. Word of wonders drifts on smoky wind to nymphs, then satyrs and finally vine-crowned beings. Olympus hears nothing. Hera counts her children, never speaking the eldest name. In Lemnos, the eldest plans a gift she will never forget. Alone before his anvil, Hephaestus studies molten metal pooling like sunlight trapped in stone. His hammer stills. He runs calloused fingers across his twisted legs. Each pang of pain translates into craft. "Let the goddess taste the weight of deformity," he mutters, voice echoing against basalt walls. He drafts a throne of impossible geometry, hinges hidden beneath curls of ivy filigree, snares triggered by a lover's embrace, fetters disguised as armrests that tighten only upon divinity. Bronze discs murmur like conspirators. Silver sinews hum in cicada cadence. Over 9 months, mocking the term of mortal birth, he completes the masterpiece. At sunrise, he blesses it in the name of Nemesis, goddess of righteous balance, invoking that all who sit shall feel consequences of past deeds. Dolphins haul the gleaming construct onto a driftwood raft adorned with lilies and myrtle to mask menace. A gull cries overhead, omen of ascents reversed. He sends the raft northward with a prayer neither gentle nor cruel. Mother, behold your mirror. As the gift floats toward Olympus, steam plumes behind Lemnos like funeral incense. By rejecting imperfection, Hera forged perfection's backlash. Hephaestus watches until the raft meets horizon haze, then returns to hammer, forging lesser wonders with trembling hands, not from fatigue, but from anticipation. Zephyrus gently pushes the raft toward Olympus's marble docks. Horae attendants marvel at the golden seat, whose legs resemble curling acanthus. They wheel it into Hera's radiant hall. Ivory columns glow pink in dawn light as the queen enters. She pauses. Beauty tempers caution. Gilded vines glimmer, precious stones wink. Hera has long desired a symbol surpassing Zeus's thunderbolt. This appears to be it. With regal curiosity, she lowers herself. Instant ecstasy. Cushions mold to her form. Gilded leaves emit perfume of roses and myrrh. Then vines harden. Metal serpents slither forth, coiling wrists and ankles. Petals of iris flatten into manacles. Hera gasps. The hall answers with silence. Attempting dignity, she commands release. The throne tightens. Panic flickers beneath her eyes like buried embers. She calls Ares, now grown, tall and spear-keen. Ares lunges, sword strikes invisible barrier, sparks cascade. Hera's screams echo, summoning Hermes, Poseidon. Even the unmanifest Athena flutters as migraine in Zeus's mind. No rescue avails. Chains transmute into tongues of cold fire that sear yet do not scar. Hera's rage turns inward. Shame mixes with dread. She remembers the child cast away. Understanding dawns like frost. Palace nymphs avert gaze. The throne of motherhood becomes prison, and Olympus quivers, unsure whether to pity or fear its queen. Among the gods who assemble, Helios, the all-seeing sun, is present. His glance lingers on the intricate trap, recognizing the craft of the exiled smith. Zeus convenes assembly beneath a vault of opal sky. Gods gather thunder-headed. Hera's plight sits at chamber center, literal and symbolic. Ares advocates force, split gold with spear. Athena, not yet born but pressing through Zeus's skull, manifests as throbbing counsel urging cunning. Poseidon suggests drowning mechanisms in divine brine. Apollo plucks lyre seeking resonance to loosen locks, notes fading uselessly. Hermes attempts persuasion with empty seat. The throne's hidden wheels respond with mocking clicks. Even whispering Hephaestus' name chills the room. The memory suppressed now claws through regal facades. Finally, Zeus decrees, if creator cursed, creator must reverse. Yet none know the exile's dwelling. Hephaestus hides his forge's smoke in swirling clouds. Desperation seeps into marble floors. Ambrosia lies untouched. Nectar loses sweetness. Hera's eyes blaze but cannot weep. Pride anchors tears. She recalls newborn Ares' first grip, fleeting comfort. Now the warrior son stands powerless. Gods taste helplessness rare among immortals, wrought not by enemy blades, but by maternal cruelty returned. The hunt for the smith begins. Only one deity can coax him. The god of revels is absent. Instead, they look first to force and to a messenger's wit. Helios, who has watched the world from his chariot, volunteers his memory of the earth to aid the search. The council sends Ares to Lemnos. Armed with spear and arrogance, the war god storms across the sea, intent on dragging Hephaestus back by force. When he arrives, the forge greets him like a beast. Bronze dogs bark tongues of flame. Tripods march in phalanx. Bellows blast searing wind. Ares swings his spear. It rebounds off invisible shields. Hephaestus stands at his anvil, unmoved. "I am no enemy," Ares growls. "Then do not war," the smith replies, tapping tongs together. Ares lunges. A mechanical arm rises and knocks him flat, singeing his armor. Humiliated, Ares stumbles through smoke back to Olympus, soot on cheek, pride scorched. The gods murmur, brute strength fails before cunning. Ares' defeat proves the ferocity of Hephaestus' defenses and the futility of coercion. Hera's chains remain tight. Zeus's jaw clenches. They realize that cunning must meet cunning. Hermes volunteers to negotiate. Zeus nods. Hera, cheeks flushed, agrees to swallow pride if it frees her. Honor and shame hang in balance. Hephaestus, alone in Lemnos, pours molten bronze and waits. Hermes descends from Olympus bearing olive branch and silver tongue. At Lemnos, he finds the forge quieter than usual. The smith sits sharpening a chisel, awaiting visitors like guests to a calculated feast. Lord of craft, Hermes begins, your mother sits trapped in your own marvel. Zeus bids you return and undo what only you can. Hephaestus does not glance up. Olympus cast me down, he replies, and now sends a dove to fetch the hammer. Hermes inclines his head. Force failed. So now we ask the price of your return. The smith places the chisel aside. I will free the queen, he says, but I demand restoration of my divine honor. I want a seat among the Olympians, forged not by birth, but by merit. And I want the hand of Aphrodite, beauty joined to craft, an oath stronger than bronze. Hermes falters, then nods. Back in Olympus, the terms ignite murmurs, outrage, laughter, disbelief. Aphrodite stiffens, Ares burns. Yet Zeus, weighing order against discomfort, concedes. He shall have what he asks. Hermes returns with verdict. Hephaestus listens, then turns back to his tools. The price was met, but the wound remains fresh. He does not move. The forge remains lit. The smith does not rise. The gods have what they want, yet still lack their craftsmen. Hermes returns alone to Olympus's radiant hall. No donkey, no forge smoke, no laughter of satyrs, only the winged messenger and words hard-earned. In the great hall, the gods await, arrayed like constellations cast into marble. Hera shifts upon the golden throne. Its gears murmur faintly. He heard. He listened. He named his price, a seat among the Olympians and Aphrodite's hand, Hermes announces. Murmurs flare, shocked gasps, furtive glances. Ares grips his spear tighter. Aphrodite pales, lips parting not in protest but disbelief. He accepts the terms, Hermes continues, but he does not come. Zeus leans forward, frowning. What binds him still? Nothing, the messenger replies, except memory. His honor may be restored, but his wound remains. A tense silence follows. Hera's fingers twitch. Athena, half-formed within Zeus's mind, throbs like thunder behind his temples. Poseidon grumbles, not even the sea moves stone that wills to stay. Apollo tunes his lyre and finds no chord that loosens resentment. Zeus rises, voice edged with impatience. Force failed, persuasion failed. What strength remains when power and logic fall short? From a shadowed alcove, a golden laugh curls. There lounges Dionysus, the still wandering son of Semele, not yet counted among the 12, reclining on a mosaic bench, swirling dark wine in a kylix. Recent tales claim he roams Asia with Maenads. Nevertheless, the young god drifts through Olympus as guest more than counselor. Perhaps you require neither thunder nor sage counsel, he says, eyes lidded. Perhaps what you need is celebration. The court falls silent. Even Hera looks up. Bring the hammer out with a song, Dionysus adds. No one resists truth when it wears a smile and tastes like wine. The gods exchange glances. Slowly, Zeus nods. Go, he commands. Use no bribes, no threats, only joy. Dionysus rises, wreath brightening. If I return with the smith, remember this is no formal triumph. My throne is yet uncarved, he teases, hinting at struggles to come. Then joy shall be the chariot. He exits humming, the scent of myrrh and grape lingering like prophecy, leaving behind an assembly of gods, uncertain yet intrigued. Helios's eyes follow him. The sun knows that intoxication can soften even the hardest metals. Twilight spreads like spiced wine across the sky as Dionysus descends alone toward Lemnos, his wreath of ivy glistening with dew. No heralds, no bargains, only the god of ecstasy and his bottomless kylix. The volcanic winds hiss, but he greets them with a smile, cloak billowing like fermented incense. In the crater's shadowed forge, Hephaestus hammers a twisted hinge, the rhythm sharp, unyielding. Sparks rise, yet joy does not. The smith senses him before he speaks. God of folly, Hephaestus growls, not turning. God of freedom, Dionysus corrects gently, seating himself upon an anvil still warm. You've trapped a queen, outwitted an army, and earned your honor. Now what binds you? Hephaestus does not answer. Dionysus produces a flask of wine aged in the roots of Mount Nisa. Drink, he says, not to forget, but to uncoil. Reluctantly, the smith sips. The wine strikes like memory softened by melody. Satyrs appear, quiet, reverent, strumming lyres. Maenads dance barefoot among slag heaps. Music winds around anvil and ember. Sorrow begins to melt. A grin splits the godsmith's face for the first time in years. He rises, mounts the old grey donkey waiting outside. By nightfall, a strange procession climbs Olympus. A drunken god upon a beast flanked by laughter, ivy, and automata bearing tools. Revenge had forged the trap, but only joy could free its maker. On solstice eve, ambrosial winds carry myrrh through Olympus. Charities weave veils of liquid starlight. The Horae scatter blossoms of amaranth. Hephaestus approaches in crimson forge cloth, hammer slung like scepter. Each limping step rings with authority earned in flame. Aphrodite glides draped in seashell silk. Doves circle her hair. Hymenaeus' hymn soars, accompanied by self-playing lyres, automata plucking silver strings. At the altar of Gaia and Uranus, Zeus blesses the union. Hera watches, wrists still shadowed by faint indents of golden vines. During the vows, Hephaestus glimpses the youngest Charis, Aglaia, whose shy smile flickers like dawn on new-cast bronze. Her bright eyes linger on the smith longer than sacred decorum permits, as though fate is sketching a second marriage bond for the day beauty and craft divorce. The couple sips honey wine. The girdle of irresistible gold cinches Aphrodite's waist, its secret clasp known only to her husband. Yet while her hand rests in his, her gaze drifts to Ares, shimmering among guests. Feast follows. Cyclopes present roast bull. Muses chant reconciliation. Hephaestus notes Aglaia applauding from the dais, wondering in a quiet corner of his heart whether warmth can grow where passion refuses to root. Beneath laughter, tectonic tensions quiver. Jealousy sharpens spear tips, artistry prepares nets, and a grace unknowingly waits to mend the breakage destiny has already foreseen. At Olympus's eastern spur, Hephaestus establishes a forge within caverns veined by lightning. He fashions 20 bellows of cyclopean bronze that inhale mountain wind and exhale white-hot flame. Anvils glow like midday sun. Cyclopes, Arges, Steropes, Brontes arrive, grateful for liberation in older tales, ready to work under their former benefactor. Together, they forge scepters crowned with thunder, bracelets that repel plague, bronze bulls for Helios's pasture. Sparks ascend vents, interpreted by mortals as meteors. Gods visit forge. Athena, still compressed within Zeus's mind, whispers strategy through her father's migraine. Poseidon requests his trident burnished. Hades leaves specifications for a helm of invisibility, planned to be finished later. Hephaestus moves between furnaces fluidly despite limp. Hammer arcs carve symphonies of clang. Golden maidens, automata he has crafted, carry molten ingots. The forge becomes the heart of Olympus, singing with creation. Yet nights grow colder in the marital chamber. Aphrodite slips away to dew-lit groves where Ares waits. The smith notices absence, hears distant clash of shield upon lust. He does not act, he calculates. In secret, he begins heating another project, a net finer than spider silk, stronger than adamant. Revenge will be tempered, not rushed. He learned patience in sea caves. Now he applies it to love betrayed. Iron remembers every slight. Hera summons Hephaestus to a rose marble balcony overlooking cloud fields the color of fresh poured silver. Afternoon light glimmers off distant seas, the very waters that once cradled her discarded child. Silence lasts until the queen speaks, voice softer than rumor. Your forge resounds across Olympus, yet anger echoes in every stroke. Hephaestus touches the scar at his brow, memory flaring. A second fall years after the first. Hera recalls the day she, enraged by Zeus's favor toward mortals and by Heracles' survival of her tempests, unleashed a secret storm to drown the hero. Zeus discovered her treachery, bound her arms with invisible chains, and hung her from the heavens. Hephaestus rushed to loosen her bonds. In white-hot fury, Zeus hurled him from the threshold of the hall. That plunge, shorter than the 9-day exile, but savage enough to twist bone anew, still aches in winter winds. Twice I felt sky turn its back, he answers, once by your hand, once by his. Hera's gaze clouds, regret ripples her poise. She offers a crystal chalice of nectar, sipping first to prove goodwill. Imperfection frightened me, she confesses, yet imperfection forged Olympus's irreplaceable artisan. For this I ask one last gift, for me, yet not for me alone, for mortals, for the daughters of women. Forge a shield I may wield in their defense, one that honors our daughter Eileithyia, she who eases birth. Engrave in it sacred symbols, hiera grammata, and enchantments of relief that lessen the agony of delivery and secure the thread of lineage. The commission surprises him. Kindness flickers where resentment smoldered. He agrees, and for a heartbeat they share the same horizon. But down the corridor, Aphrodite's laughter mingles with Ares' brassy chuckle, and the smith feels old injuries stiffen like cooling iron. Reconciliation has begun, but the bruise of 2 falls reminds him never to relinquish his hammer. In an olive grove shadow, Aphrodite meets Ares. His scarlet torso glistens, spear plants like a youthful pine. They share a kiss, searing as molten ore. The love goddess complains of cold forges and smoky air. The war god vows wildfire passion. Nearby, unseen, Helios from his sun chariot gazes down upon the grove. With clear sight, he witnesses their embrace and, offended by secrecy, resolves to inform the wronged husband. He whispers the vision into the ears of a bronze raven automaton perched at his chariot's rail, then sends it spiraling downward. The raven, guided by cunning mechanisms, lands on Hephaestus's anvil. It croaks in a language of clicks. The smith listens, face hardening. He sees in the polished silver disc the reflection of the lovers' tryst. Each embrace etches bitterness into his heart. He begins weaving golden mesh on a loom of adamant, threads crossing in patterns that mimic the spirals of a god-born fern. Each tug resonates with memory of rejection, by his mother, by the shimmer of beauty. Plan set, he smiles. No cruelty, only symmetry. Meanwhile, Ares boasts that he will one day surpass every strategist in warcraft. The goddess of love laughs, foreseeing folly. They part at dawn, unaware of the watchful sun and ravens swooping home to its master. Olympus rotates on an axle of secrets. Wheels hidden within hearts grind inexorably toward revelation. Forge sparks match starlight, passion sparks match forge. Soon, both will collide in a net none can break, weaving justice through betrayal with artistry unmatched. Hephaestus shapes his mother's commission upon anvil, ringed by singing bellows. The hammer falls to rhythm of childbirth contractions. Slow swell, swift strike, slow swell. Copper core is overlaid with silver lilies. Outer rim is etched with cycles of the moon, guardian of mother's tides. At the center, he engraves Hera herself, lifting a newborn beneath a starry canopy, an ideal vision never truly lived. As finishing stroke, he embeds a drop of ambrosia crystallized, promising painless delivery when invoked. When presented, Hera's eyes glisten, not with tears, but with the sheen of remembered possibilities. Word spreads among gods. Hephaestus crafts not only weapons but mercy. Mortals will one day tell of bronze birthing chairs and scalpels blessed by him, yet while compassion tempers anger, it does not quench it. He hides golden net beneath forge floor, recalibrating tension nightly. He visits mothers in dreams, whispering instructions for safe births, a fitting elaboration inspired by the shield commissioned by Hera in honor of Eileithyia. Craft heals world, craft also judges. Within his dual calling, Hephaestus embodies the paradox of fire, warmth and destruction inseparable. By forging this shield, he honors the mother who hurt him and the mothers who will benefit. Beneath kindness, however, revenge still glows. That same night, thunder heads roil above Olympus without rain. Zeus paces his chamber, hand pressed to his brow. Inside his skull, a thought pushes like an infant ready to be born. He groans, summoning Hephaestus. "Son," he says, voice taut, "something pounds within my mind harder than your hammer strikes. Take your axe, end this agony." Hephaestus hesitates, only a heartbeat. Memories of falls and forgiveness blur, then duty eclipses pride. He raises a bronze wedge, edge honed sharp as resolve, and positions it at Zeus's temple. The torches gutter, shadows lengthen, the blade descends, only the sound of bronze biting immortal bone. And a burst of searing light devour the scene. Whatever is born remains shrouded, its form withheld until another hymn unveils the wonder. The chamber falls silent, save for Zeus's relieved exhale and the distant rumble of departing thunder. Hephaestus lowers the axe, the task complete yet unseen, and steps back into the glow of the braziers. Another deed unheralded, another thread woven quietly into the vast tapestry of Olympus. Hephaestus returns to Lemnos for the annual Hephaestia. Mortals light torches along the coast, tossing barley into flames in gratitude for agricultural tools and hearths. Disguised as a bearded tinker, he walks among them, observing humility absent in Olympus. Children cheer as he molds toy horses from molten tin, dropping them into seawater to hiss dramatic steam. Sintian priests perform dances mimicking his first fall. Acrobats leap into nets, turning tragedy into lesson. He smiles, but ache surfaces. Gods rarely celebrate faults turned strengths. Beneath the volcanic peak, Kaberi priests chant mysteries of metallurgy, claiming descent from Hephaestus. He blesses them silently. Night concludes with torch relay from forge to harbor, symbolizing fire's gift to civilization. Fishermen cast nets woven after the god's pattern. The festival reminds him of his influence on mortal artistry. As the last torch extinguishes at dawn, the smith lingers. He gazes at the sea and recalls another creation. When Zeus ordered him to shape from clay the first woman Pandora as part of the punishment for Prometheus's theft of fire, he remembers fashioning her limbs from earth and water, watching the gods bestow upon her gifts that would carry both delight and sorrow. He thinks of Prometheus still bound to his rock, liver devoured daily by eagle, his sentence yet undone until a later hero's compassion. Even his artistry served divine vengeance once more. These thoughts temper his vengeance with stewardship. He realizes his creations affect not just gods, but humanity, and that responsibility shapes his path as strongly as resentment does. The festival resonates in his hammer strokes for days to come. The smith visits Sicily's Mount Etna, where lava meets snow. Within the crater's womb, Cyclopes operate colossal hammers propelled by the ardent vapors of Typhon, each blow ringing like a heartbeat of the earth. They forge thunderbolts, javelins of pure sky fire, stockpiling weapons for Titan upheavals yet unspoken. Hephaestus inspects shafts, ensuring perfect balance. A single misaligned fissure could crack cosmos. Pleased, he grants the Cyclopes rest, telling tales of the Lemnos festival. They roar laughter, slapping anvils, sparks dancing like fireflies. Beneath joviality, Hephaestus contemplates further wonders: automatons to aid mortals, bronze braces to steady wounded heroes, fountains that clarify venom into potable water. Creativity surges. Vengeance dims. Across the sea he recalls another forge mount, Moirai of the Aeolian Isles, and the same flames. He mutters, "Sanctify Moirai, once the sacred floor of Cabiric rites." Yet memory of Aphrodite's laughter with Ares returns. Lava bubbles angrily. He commissions the Cyclopes to draw gold into links finer than spider silk, yet strong as destiny, components for his hidden net. They obey, unaware of its target. Volcano bellows approval, belching smoke like war drums. Etna becomes his living anvil, shaping not only divine weapons, but the very plotlines of gods. He senses that soon his two roles, weaponsmith and trapmaker, will converge, altering relationships across Olympus. Pausing on the molten brink, he feels heat sear his face and vows that the next creation shall reveal truth. Hermes, ever curious, watches Hephaestus's request for gossamer chains. He sidles to Aphrodite, sharing rumor of a chain woven for secret purpose. The love goddess arches a brow, lips curling amusement. She imagines a delicate ornament to enhance her allure. Hermes shrugs, vanishing in a swirl of dust. Aphrodite informs Ares, who laughs thunderously, "Let the cripple forge bracelets. I will break them." Their tryst continues, emboldened. Meanwhile, Hermes whispers to Zeus, sowing seeds of comedic spectacle he secretly desires. Zeus smirks, better a scandal among gods than unrest among men. He consents to neutrality, trusting craft to humble arrogance without bloodshed. Thus, even the king becomes silent conspirator. Above Moirai measure new thread, shimmering gold tangled yet unbreakable. Clotho rolls it. Lachesis measures. Atropos sharpens shears. Fate loves irony. Hermes thrives on it. Hephaestus embodies it. None of the gods yet see the threads converging. A passing breeze carries the faintest scent of smithy to Aphrodite's chamber, but she fails to recognize warning. The messenger's whispers connect hearts and hammers. Soon, his mischief will ring across Olympus's golden floors, echoing through ages. Night cloaks Olympus. Forge fires pulse like dragon hearts. Hephaestus sets the final link, chanting formula of cohesion taught by Cyclopes, words older than Titans, binding metal to will. The net folds into a pouch small as a pomegranate, yet can blanket a palace. He tests by suspending an automaton bull. The creature thrashes, hooves churning, yet the mesh holds unbroken. Satisfaction warms him more than magma. He oils hinges silently, storing trap beneath his marriage bed. Timing is crucial. Catch adulterers in the act, expose before assembly. He prepares speech of justice, neither rage nor cruelty, but demonstration that ugliness resides not in physical form, but in betrayal. Finishing touches, hidden hooks to tether net to ceiling via infallible pulleys, triggered by mattress pressure. He lines pulleys with soft leather to prevent sound. He places golden clamps within bedposts, disguised as vine carvings. In final act, Hephaestus extinguishes forge, sits among cooling anvils, breathing deep. Steam rises like sigh, stars glitter through cavern vents. Revenge wrought, he feels strangely hollow, yet resolved. Tomorrow's dawn will kindle drama worthy of epic bards. As he drifts into fitful sleep, he dreams again of falling from Olympus. Except this time he watches others fall into his trap. At training grounds near the colonnades, Ares hones spear thrusts against a wooden dummy. Sand bursts with each impact. War god's sweat glistens. Hephaestus approaches, offering a newly tempered shield etched with scenes of just war. Heroes defending hearths, mothers shielding infants. Ares sneers at first, then takes shield, impressed by craftsmanship. He is unaware that delicate snares, near invisible, are etched into the bronze lip, ready to catch the golden net. They spar, Clang echoes across marble. Hephaestus feigns fatigue, hiding his strength. Ares boasts of conquests carnal and martial. Hephaestus responds with measured silence, storing information like nails. As they part, the smith murmurs, "May shield guard you in stillness." Ares laughs, mishearing omen. Nearby, Hebe serves nectar to gods, eyes widening at brotherly frost. She glimpses the chasm between brute force and refined intellect, wonders which better serves Olympus. She will remember on the day she pours wine over bound lovers before council. Elsewhere, Eileithyia tests her new shield's sacred symbols, Hera grammata, on mortal births, impressed. The tension between siblings forms yet another thread in the tapestry, weaving jealousy with love, honor with humiliation. Hephaestus returns to his forge, finalizing knots. Ares continues drills, oblivious to impending humiliation. In a starless grotto far beyond mortal sight, the Moirai sit at their loom. Night's essence drips from stalactites like ink. By dim lantern light, Clotho spins thread of life. Lachesis measures portion, Atropos sharpens shears. They hum a timeless melody, their voices overlapping in eerie harmony. On their tapestry is woven a golden net glittering like day sun, lovers writhing within, gods laughing in the background. Clotho snips thread of secrecy, letting truth slip into the tapestry. Lachesis measures strand of pride. Ares' hubris lengthened to ensure entrapment. Atropos' shears gleam as she prepares to cut shame loose from love. A shadow of owl, presage of wisdom not yet born, circles the loom, unseen yet potent. The Moirai send a dream to Themis, scales tipping in favor of the smith, justice served by artistry, not by blade. Themis wakes, nodding solemnly. She knows the upcoming drama will not merely entertain, but recalibrate cosmic balance. She decides to watch silently, allowing fate's threads to tighten. The loom hums as cloth grows, each thread a life, each life a lesson. The fate's fingers never slip. Sunset bathes Aphrodite's chamber in rose. Perfume of myrtle and cinnamon permeates the room. Hephaestus feigns absence, telling servants he visits Etna. Aphrodite signals Ares with secret gesture. He arrives in armor trimmed with gold, discarding spear and cuirass with impatience. They recline upon the bed structured by hidden pulleys. Golden net twitches overhead, silent as spider on breeze. Horai retreat, locking heavy doors. Nymph attendants pretend ignorance. Lovers entwine, whispers of conquest echo. Ares praises beauty, Aphrodite praises strength. At the peak of embrace, a concealed lever depresses beneath the mattress. Pulleys whir softly, net cascades, shimmering like noon water, links interlocking, tightening faster than eagle dive. Ares snarls, muscles bulge uselessly. Aphrodite shrieks, yet her voice is muffled by strands. Chains shackle ankles, wrists. Lovers freeze in tableau of desire turned disgrace. Hephaestus steps from the shadow of an adjacent chamber, face lit by forge-born glow. "Behold art of truth," he announces, voice calm as quenched iron. He tugs rope, net tightens. Ares curses. Aphrodite pleads. No rope breaks, no link yields. The trap is sprung. Now justice must be shown to all of Olympus. Hephaestus drags the net bundle into the grand hall. Pulley wheels screech. Golden strands glint. Gods gather swiftly. Apollo covers mouth to hide grin. Hermes snickers openly. Poseidon lifts a brow in surprise. Demeter purses lips. Hestia averts eyes. Hera flushes crimson, then pale. Helios stands among them, having been first witness, his radiant gaze steady. Hephaestus unfurls the snare. On the mosaic floor lie entangled lovers, Ares with muscles taut, Aphrodite with hair askew. Ares roars threats, struggling. Chains grip tighter. Aphrodite pleads, tears glistening with shame. Hephaestus addresses Zeus. "Price of my marriage hath been mocked. Let gods judge." Laughter fills the vault. Even sun-bright Apollo cannot contain mirth. Only Themis remains stoic, weighing the moment upon the invisible scales of justice. Zeus, after thunderous chuckle, rules that adulterers shall pay indemnity. Ares must offer a burdensome tribute, riches equal to the smith's bride price for his transgression, and Poseidon will stand surety for the payment. Aphrodite must return the gifts bestowed at her wedding. Ritual bonds will not chain her if her heart strays. When tribute is laid, each may go free. Zeus turns to Helios and praises his vigilance. Poseidon, uncomfortable with the humiliation yet bound by honor, pledges to ensure Ares pays. Hephaestus relents. His aim was exposure and restitution, not eternal bondage. He releases the net. It springs open. Lovers stand, faces burning. Ares vows revenge, but dares not strike within Zeus's sight. Aphrodite lowers her gaze, then flees to Cyprus. Ares storms to Thrace, his ancestral land. Hephaestus keeps the net as testament. Gods disperse, still chuckling. Hera meets the smith's eyes. A flicker of vindication and regret passes between them. Balance is restored, imperfect yet serviceable. The tale of the golden snare becomes song, cautionary and comedic, warning mortals of hubris and lauding the cunning of the rejected. In solitude of his forge, Hephaestus contemplates the golden net. He has trapped betrayal, justice is served. Now he must decide its fate. He feeds the net into furnace, watching links melt into glowing river. When liquefied completely, he pours molten gold into ingot molds stamped with symbol of scales. No longer weapon of shame, now raw material for future gifts, charms for faithful couples, clasps for girdles, amulets to bind love honestly. He watches metal flow, feeling burden lift. Sparks dance upward, forming momentary constellations shaped like broken chain. He breathes deep, inhaling scent of heated metal and possibility. By transforming the net, he demonstrates that even instruments of vengeance can become tools of healing. The furnace hums, bellows sigh. Outside, wind rustles olive leaves. Hephaestus sets the cooled ingot on shelf labeled metanoia, change of heart. Even the most elaborate traps can become, in skilled hands, the foundation of something pure. He looks at his own hands, scarred but strong, and feels a moment of peace. Hestia visits the forge, lantern in hand. The goddess of hearth and home thanks Hephaestus for the shield-aiding mothers, for stoves heating mortal homes, for tools ploughing fields. Fire is gift, not merely weapon, she reminds. He nods. Together they place an ember from his furnace into her perpetual hearth flame, merging domestic warmth with volcanic intensity. This union ensures mortal hearths carry a whisper of divine craftsmanship. Hephaestus smiles genuinely, first since his fall. In partnership with Hestia, his art transcends personal vendetta, shaping civilization. He realizes fire used in vengeance can also bake bread, melt ore into plowshares, and warm cold rooms. They discuss plans to teach mortals safe forging techniques, how to temper iron, smelt copper, craft nails. In this exchange, he finds fulfillment that revenge never yielded. The glowing coals symbolize a new role, mentor rather than trapper. As Hestia departs, she leaves behind a loaf of barley bread she baked using a new oven he crafted. He bites into it, tasting not just grain, but the promise of healing. Outside, thunder rumbles. Inside, hearth crackles. The legacy of fire lies not in nets, but in nurturing. Night wraps Olympus. Aphrodite walks colonnades alone, heart split between shame and longing. Ares trains afar, plotting redemption. Hephaestus stands on a balcony, gazing at stars. He feels pulled to release resentment, but knows memory of hurt shapes his compassion. Beauty untethered seeks reflection. Iron-forged seeks purpose, he whispers. He turns to a wax-coated bronze tablet, where he has etched the plan of a four-wheeled seat chariot for a mortal child born lame, transforming personal pain into universal aid. His invention includes adjustable seats, cushioning, bronze wheels. He will gift it to disabled heroes. Above, stars shimmer. One streaks across, omen of adaptability. Hermes alights beside the forge, sandals barely kissing stone, and offers playful counsel on counterbalance and lift. Insights delivered with the quicksilver ease of Techne herself. Partnership forms between messenger mind and smith hand. They discuss building automata that help mortals raise heavy stones, bronze arms that mimic natural motion. Aphrodite, watching from shadow, feels curiosity, admiring the mind she betrayed. War god grips spear, eyes aflame with unresolved desire and wounded pride. Fate hums. Olympus is stable yet ever shifting. In closing tableau, the smith raises his hammer. Sparks burst like constellations. Love goddess gazes back, equal parts sorrow and fascination. War god's knuckles whiten on spear shaft. Seeds for future tales of desire and conflict are planted. Scorned at birth, Hephaestus remade scorn into splendor. He forged a throne that imprisoned his mother, a net that exposed adultery, and a shield that eased childbirth. In golden chains he balanced betrayal. In splitting Zeus's skull, he midwifed Athena. In merging hearth and forge, he armed mortals with comfort. Olympus learned that perfection may wound as sharply as imperfection, and that rejected stones confound temples. Yet harmony remains fragile. Love triangles sharpen, pride festers, beauty commands, and war drums echo beneath laughter. The cursed throne now stands empty, a relic of error and artistry. Hephaestus returns to Anvil's, vow reforged. His fire will protect as fiercely as it punishes. But Aphrodite's allure radiates unchecked, and Ares' passion craves battlefield. In the next episode, the goddess of desire will move beyond forging nets, and mortals will become entangled. Aphrodite's inexorable power will test hearts beyond divine halls. Subscribe for more epic journeys. Visit myth2myth.com and discover all our products.